So let me do this then. Let's reframe this because I have a lot of experience with setting goals. All right, so I feel pretty confident to talk about the topic. Make the big goals that you set things that you can absolutely control. Like you cannot control how many people buy your book, but you can control the amount of actions that you're willing to take that would make it unreasonable that you don't sell 1,000 copies. And so then you can judge how successful you were by how much you adhered to the actions that you committed to. Let's say that you did absolutely everything on the plan, like your plan of advertising, of letting people know about it for a year, and you did everything. And you sold 999 books. Would you consider it a failure?
No, that would be a win.
Okay. Now, if you sold 90 books, I just want to reframe this because honestly, the thing that you're talking about is something that so many people deal with. And it's because you want to control things. You want to control the outcome and you're saying, I'm only willing to pay this price if there's this outcome. But you're seeing the outcome as the outcome rather than the skills that you develop along the way as the outcome. Because I can promise you this will not be the last book you write. And so if you get to 100 sales instead of 1,000, and what's going to happen realistically is that you will figure out the one thing or two things that actually work to sell books. And then I'll say, do 100 times more of that. And you can either choose to do that on this book or you can choose to do it on the next book. But the idea of like, I'm setting this 1,000, because you could have said 1,000,000 books. It doesn't really matter. You're just setting it, you're making up a number and saying, this I feel is reasonable for me. But instead of making the number reasonable, make the actions that would lead to that the reasonable thing. Like, what can you commit to? 4 hours a day of promotion?
Yeah.
Okay, then make that the commitment. And I'll promise you that if you do that every day, at the end of the year, you will feel accomplished because you actually did what you said you were going to do. And I will tell you that the marketplace will also always recognize someone who puts 4 hours of work every single day into one thing.